from the Permian Basin's news team of the 90s. Caroline Thaw and John Butler. Weather with Chief Meteorologist Joe Lauria. And Kurt Kaiser with the latest in sports. Channel 7 News, late edition.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. Iraq's elusive Air Force showed signs of life today, sending 2 warplanes over Saudi Arabian territory.
But the 2 planes didn't get far before a Saudi fighter pilot shot them down. The military says the Iraqi jets were loaded with Exocet anti-ship missiles. As Juan Vasquez reports, Allied forces are chalking this up as another big victory.
With the weather clear, Allied pilots stepped up the bombing campaign, flying 3,000 sorties in one of the most intensive days of air activity since the war began.
Our target was a Scud missile factory.
Yesterday it was an airfield, and today it was I would describe it as a military-industrial complex.
Looked down, there was my target, and put the bombs right on it. Last thing I saw that target was black smoke.
And a Saudi pilot flying an American-made F-15 quickly became the envy of every would-be Top Gun. He knocked out 2 Iraqi jets that dared to venture into Saudi airspace.
Those are my first 2 kills, Persian. Great. I'm looking for more, actually.
Pilots back from bombing missions say Saddam's ploy of using captured airmen as human shields won't stop them from attacking targets.
We all knew what we were signing up for when we signed up for this. Nobody was forced into doing this. And I know that if I were in their place, I'd be cheering when I heard the bombs coming down. I don't think it'll deter us at all.
Naval commanders say they've been using A-6s to mine Iraq's only naval facility at Qusayr. At the same time, the largest amphibious force since the Korean War staged a rehearsal today in the Arabian Sea in another effort to worry Saddam about when and where he will be hit. Early this morning, U.S. Marines staged a daring hit-and-run artillery raid on Iraqi forces inside Kuwait, firing 35 rounds of high explosives from the border and then dashing back before the enemy could retaliate.
We should have rocked somebody's world fairly well.
American artillery officers say they're outgunned by the Iraqis 5-1. Until the enemy guns can be knocked out from the air, U.S. counter-strategy will have to rely on speed and stealth. Juan Vasquez, CBS News, Eastern Saudi Arabia.
The U.S. Navy is reporting hits of its own tonight. Naval officials say they've taken 51 Iraqi soldiers prisoner, 20 of them from an Iraqi minesweeper. The minesweeper was sunk by a Navy A-6 intruder in the Gulf. The others were captured on a nearby Kuwaiti island.
A 4th U.S.-supplied Patriot missile battery has been put into operation in Israel to protect against Iraqi missiles. Reports from Washington say the Jewish state may be provided with up to a dozen Patriot batteries, apparently as part of the U.S. effort to keep Israel from retaliating against Iraqi Scud attacks. 4 CBS journalists covering the Persian Gulf War are reported missing tonight after a Saudi military patrol found their empty car in northern Saudi Arabia. The 4 include veteran correspondent Bob Simon, along with 2 cameramen and a technician. Their car was found with the key still in the ignition, but it was out of gas. They have not been heard from since Monday morning. And we certainly hope they are found.
That's right. At least over there right now, they've been getting a little bit of rain, but the clouds are clearing out.
Okay, improving weather then, Joe.
As a matter of fact, here's the satellite picture for you, just to give you an idea exactly what's going on, because most of Saudi Arabia continues to be going through some pretty good weather. If you notice in Iraq, quite a few clouds located across the northern portion of that country. Just to give you an idea, that clear spot right there, that's Kuwait. Let me go ahead and bring things closer to home. Our first weather segment tonight sponsored by Houston Copeland Insurance. And for today, still rather cool, but not too bad compared to the past several days. 53 for a high, 58 is our normal high temperature. Morning low, just about normal for this time of year, down to right around 30 degrees. Have a lot going on. We'll tell you about the weekend forecast coming up in just a little while.
Houston Copeland Insurance, 24 years young and still growing. He's been here, he'll be here.
We gave right on selling better quality cars to more people like you here at Elmore Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Big Spring. Would you look at this? It's a 1985 Ford F-250 XLT Lariat, diesel, automatic, power windows, power locks, tilt, cruise, air, captain's chairs, dual tanks, sunroof, running boards, and priced at just $49.88.
Elmore in Big Spring.
Wow! Slumberland is having a clearance sale. We're clearing out Sealy and Serta mattress sets at the lowest price ever. Clearance prices on Drescher White and Brass Daybeds. Special prices on Design Horizon furniture. Clearance on Serta adjustable electric beds. And Soma flotation water beds are on sale too. After this sale, you may need a new broom. Remember, we save you money during the January clearance at Slumberland, 1420 East 8th in Odessa.
An early morning traffic mishap caused some anxious moments near Abilene today. A truck carrying 9 Navy intercept missiles was rear-ended by another rig on Interstate 20 just east of Abilene around 4:30 this morning. 2 missiles were knocked off the truck in the accident. Explosive experts from Dyess Air Force Base were called in to check any damage sustained to the missiles. It was later determined they were undamaged and intact. Investigating personnel also say there was no danger of an explosion when the missiles fell from the truck. They were being hauled from Charleston, South Carolina to naval facilities in Seal Beach, California. No one was seriously injured in that accident.
As war continues in the Persian Gulf, Permian Basin residents are searching for ways to show their support, but that's becoming difficult. Finding an American flag is close to impossible since the fighting began. Merchants say they didn't plan for the show of patriotism that's come out of the Gulf conflict.
We had plenty, we thought, until everybody started buying them and they were gone in one day. And we have ordered a lot, and hopefully they'll be in tomorrow.
Yellow ribbons are also in short supply at most stores. Harper says he's put in an extra large order which should arrive next week.
And most of us have seen the pictures of oil fields on fire in the Middle East since the war broke out, but officials say don't let that fool you. According to Railroad Commissioner Jim Nugent, the oil burning represents only a small portion of the world's supply. In Midland today, Nugent told a group of West Texas oil producers that Middle East oil supplies are in abundance. In fact, Nugent says Saudi Arabia is temporarily cutting oil production. Here in Texas, the railroad official says we had an excellent year in 1990.
We attribute that to the tax relief that the state legislature allowed us to give the industry under Rule 50, that's secondary production projects that they bring on stream and horizontal drilling.
Nugent spoke to Permian Basin Petroleum Association members during their board luncheon today. Nugent currently serving his 3rd term as Railroad Commission chairman.
Governor Ann Richards says she wants to keep Texas credit unions from suffering the same fate as those in Rhode Island. On January 1st, that state's private credit union insurance system collapsed. Texas institutions are also insured privately, and Richards wants them to move toward federal insurance. Tonight, Channel 7's Pat Monticelli reports how the changes would affect West Texas credit union customers.
Texas credit unions, like this one in Odessa, are insured by a private company, the Texas Share Guarantee Credit Union. But that may soon change. Governor Ann Richards is asking the Texas Credit Union Commission to consider switching all institutions from private to federal insurance. Barbara Arnold is the president of the West Texas Educators Credit Union and a member of the Credit Union Commission. She says, unlike Rhode Island, the Texas private insurance company is very strong. But the commission is considering the change to federal insurance for the customer's sake.
There's a line where your members may become concerned. They don't understand private insurance. And we want the best for our members, and we want them to feel secure.
Arnold says customers have nothing to fear by a change in credit union insurance. She says your money won't be affected one way or the other.
Our members, if we didn't tell them, our members would not know the difference. We would change a decal on our front door from TSGCU to the National Credit Union Fund.
The switchover is not a sure thing. The Texas Credit Union Commission is scheduled to vote on the matter on January 31st. Pat Monticelli, Channel 7 News, Odessa.
An Odessa man is headed to prison for the murder of a man he calls a friend. An Ector County jury has sentenced 37-year-old Benny Lee Conley to 15 years in prison for the July 29th shooting death of 24-year-old James Roosevelt Jones. Conley took the stand in the punishment phase of the trial. He told the jury he shot Jones accidentally and cried while the man died in his arms. Attorneys on both sides say the sentence is an acceptable one.
Because he had no prior felonies of any kind, because he was in his late 30s, because he had never done anything wrong before, there was a very good chance that he would have gotten 10 years probation. And it appears the jury thought about it long and hard and said no, that he deserved to go to prison instead. And we are very pleased with that determination.
I'm fairly pleased with the amount of time in that it is on the lower end of the scale. When I compare that against the district attorney's plea bargain offer, which was 50 years to do, I think we beat that considerably by 35 years.
The jury also fined Conley $10,000. Defense attorney Lee Haddon says his client will be eligible for parole in about 4 years. A good day on Wall Street today as the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 24 points. Trading was heavy. 223 million shares changing hands. West Texas Intermediate crude did not fare as well, losing 33 cents a barrel today.
West Texas Lone Star Chevy dealers want to thank you. Thank you for making Chevy trucks since 1988 #1 in sales here in West Texas, and the same held true for last year, 1990. And to celebrate Chevy's lead over Ford here and to get 1991 off to a roaring start, your Lone Star Chevy dealers are having their January Chevy trucks are #1 sale. Chevy Suburbans, Mini Suburban 4-door S Blazer, regular or conversion models are all included. The Chevy trucks are #1 sale, only at your Lone Star Chevy dealers.
Video One in Odessa and Midland is proud to present Meet George Jetson. That's right, George Jetson is here live from Hollywood for a limited time only. See him in person this Saturday at the 2 Video One locations. In Midland, 1 to 3 p.m. and Odessa, 4 to 6 p.m. And kids, be sure to get your parents to bring their cameras. Video One, proud to bring great family entertainment. Video One, Santa Fe Square in Odessa and North Park Center in Midland.
Reflex, your one-stop fitness shop. Do you need a complete makeover or just a little tuck here and there? Whichever, Reflex can help you achieve the look you desire. Come on in and let our qualified staff design a personalized fitness program especially for you, using the latest in innovative aerobics and weight training. Open 7 days a week. Supervised nursery, clothing and supplements. Reflex Fitness Center, where your health is our concern.
Hi, neighbor. Willie Ray Billy Bob with you one more time right out here in the wild and woolly oil field. You know, in this oil field, we got a lot to worry about, but one thing you don't need to be worrying about is your homeowner's insurance. I want you to shop Dunlap Insurance Associates. They got the finest insurance at the best possible price. You call them. Oh, me, here's the boss. What?
Willie Ray, ain't you finished yet?
I'm doing the best I can with what I've got to work with.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Houston Copeland Insurance.
Felt a little like spring today.
It did, if it had been a few degrees warmer.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we topped off for today at about 53. You know, not bad for the late winter.
Not at all.
Spring
We
right
still
around
have
the
that
corner.
slushy snow messing up my car, though.
Oh, really? You know, I think just about every car now in the Permian Basin is so filthy, ugly. That's what y'all could do this weekend. Get the car washed, or maybe
those
you might
car
even,
washed.
Yeah, maybe you might even want to do it yourself, because we do have some pretty good weather shaping up. Here's our trivia question for tonight. Which state do you think receives the most rain? And I have to admit, I was surprised. Texas, Florida, or Hawaii? You think about that, we'll tell you right after tonight's weathercast. Here's what happened for today across the Lone Star State, as well as the land of enchantment. And you know what they say in Oklahoma? Oklahoma is okay. Well, it turned out to be a pretty okay day today in the big city, Oklahoma City, topping off for today at 51 degrees. Back into Texas, Abilene for today at about 53. The Concho Valley, San Angelo at 55. Just a little bit cooler in the South Plains. Lubbock, high temperature for today at 48. By the way, just pretend these are highs today. Amarillo at 47. El Paso for today at about 53. And as we go towards the east, Dallas as well as our state capital at 57. It was one of the warmer spots in our state, the Alamo City, at 60. Right now here in the Permian Basin, we're looking at clear conditions. Our current temperature has been holding steady over the past 2 or 3 hours, 38 degrees right now, and this is probably the reason why. Our winds are out of the southwest, 9 miles an hour, and whenever we get southwest winds, assuming there's no snow cover, we usually see some pretty mild temperatures, and that's pretty much the case for tonight. Humidity 82%, pressure steady 30.08. Across West Texas, not a bad night. Temperatures are for the most part into the 30s. A little bit on the chilly side, though, according to Shelby Hook and Crane. 34 already. Wally Black and Monahan's at 36. Rhonda Bailey and Kermit likewise, with temperatures in the middle 30s. Misty in Fort Stockton at 40. Richard Nye and Imperial also at 40 degrees. A cold night in Balmorhea. Ben tells me the current temperature there is 32. One of the reasons why it's pretty cold is we've got clear skies across West Texas. So what little heat we built up for today is quickly dissipating into the upper atmosphere. We call it radiational cooling. You call it cold temperatures, and that's pretty much what we're seeing for tonight. Our next change in the weather coming to us from the north. We've got another cold front that's slowly taking shape now across the northern part of the country. Snow is flying right now across Topeka as well as Kansas City. They're expecting 2 to 4 inches before the night is done. For the time being, high pressure in control. But again, take a look at that cold front, because by this time tomorrow night, that cold front will be moving through the Permian Basin. That'll be ushering in some cooler temperatures on Saturday. But as I mentioned tonight at 6 o'clock, not too bad. This cold front really not packing too much of a punch, because by Sunday our temperatures will be close to 60 degrees. I'll tell you all about the forecast after this word from Houston Copeland Insurance.
A lesson in grammar, or is it a lesson in grammar? Well, some have asked, is it don't you buy no ugly truck, or is it don't you buy an ugly truck? But why buy an ugly truck at all when you can buy this good-looking Ford Ranger from Sewell Ford and get an $1,800 discount? Or this good-looking Ford Aerostar for just $14,991. Don't you buy no ugly truck. For good-looking prices and good-looking selection, it's Sewell Ford, 2425 East 8, Odessa.
Whether at home or on the job, married or single, with dependents or without, today's woman needs a life insurance program of her own. Houston Copeland Insurance Agency has a policy flexible enough to meet your immediate and future needs. They can help you provide security now for your loved ones while building cash values to use later on for emergencies, business investments, or even retirement income. Houston Copeland, offering quality insurance at a fair price. He's been here, he'll be here.
Not a bad night for the Permian Basin for tonight, but certainly bundle up if you're heading outdoors. Under clear skies, it will be chilly. Overnight low temperature down to about 30 degrees. Tomorrow, I think we could see a few clouds during the morning. Then we'll see partly sunny weather during the late morning hours. Clouds rolling in from the north thanks to that cold front by late tomorrow afternoon. So we'll call it partly cloudy. High temperature at about 56. Area temperatures, Monahan's topping off close to 60 degrees. Kermit likewise. Fort Davis, not too bad. High temperature in the Davis Mountains in the middle 50s. 7-day forecast goes like this. And again, we're not looking too bad on Saturday, but it will be a little bit cooler under partly cloudy conditions. Sunday, not bad as well. Temperatures warming up into the upper 50s. By early next week, Monday, topping off near 60. Tuesday, another cold front and some cooler temperatures. Our weather tonight brought to you by Houston Copeland Insurance. And which state receives the most rain? Caroline?
Why do you pick on me? Hawaii.
There you go. She's a smart one. Yeah, just the little teeny tiny state of Hawaii receives the most rain. It rains there every day thanks to the trade winds off the Pacific.
And the tropic environment, I'm sure adds to it.
Exactly. Just like Florida, except Hawaii gets more rain.
And I guessed it.
How interesting.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
The stars tonight were big and bright, and those stars came from Odessa. In fact, perhaps the brightest star of all came from this very news desk. Channel 7's own Kurt Kaiser made his stage debut as part of the musical production A Slice of Texas Toast, a fundraiser running through Saturday at the Permian Playhouse. Who knows? We might not ever get him back after tonight.
sale high. Prove it. RCA's Heated Whirlpool KitchenAid GE Amata. Limited time savings now at Morris Cafe.
Neck pain, back pain, work-related injuries. Choose the Physical Therapy Office in Pecos. Our professional staff provides friendly, expert therapy for you and your family. We have the latest in modern equipment to ensure you of a safe road to recovery. The Physical Therapy Office staff would like to thank the people of Pecos and the surrounding areas for keeping us working.
I think we'd all three like your autograph after that.
Oh, stop it now. Yeah.
Boy, that was good.
I got off stage and they did say, please go back to the TV station. No real future. Although I will be doing it again tomorrow and Saturday, I think, unless they've canceled the show since I left. But it really was a lot of fun out there tonight.
Not to be missed.
But I'm going to enjoy telling you about sports a little bit more. I'm not quite as nervous doing this.
Got some good sports tonight, don't we?
Good basketball. We'll tell you about that right now. Junior college basketball. The big game going on in Levelland tonight with South Plains and Howard. Now, as far as the men are concerned, that game now has South Plains up 87-76. Late in the action, both teams entered at 20-0, perfect records. One will have to lose. At this stage, South Plains, again, has the lead. As far as the ladies are concerned, good news for Odessa College, as South Plains was a winner 60-57 over Howard. That puts Howard and the Odessa College Lady Wranglers in a tie for first place, each with just one loss. In other action, the Shaps hosted New Mexico Junior College tonight at the Shap Center in Midland, where Reggie Franklin watched on, and he would see the T-Birds from New Mexico take a 9-point lead in the first half. Will Scott takes a lob from Greg Brown, and he scored. The Shaps would come back. They'd have a 5-point advantage at halftime. Eugene Witherspoon, 2 of his 23 points right here. In the second half, the Shaps start to open it up. They jump out to a 12-point lead. Witherspoon powers one in, but New Mexico comes back and they win the game. 91-88, Shaps losers. Wranglers took to the road tonight. They're winners in New Mexico. A 95-68 final. Rodney Dent scores 24. On to the NBA, a look at the Spurs and the Cavs from Cleveland. David Robinson just named to the NBA Western Division All-Star team as a starting center. He had a good game tonight as Robinson in the San Antonio Spurs entertained the Cavaliers, who were in Dallas last night. Here's what they did at halftime. They decided this is a Super Bowl picture for the Bills or the Giants. Well, I'm not sure who won that one. We'll see the game on Sunday. Final in this one had San Antonio winning 111-103. The Rockets hosted the Timberwolves tonight. Minnesota loses to Houston 118-94. The LA Lakers beat Charlotte, and a third quarter score has New York over Denver. The final there is, or not the final, it's in the third quarter, 67-64. Switching gears from the basketball court to the football field, the Lee Rebels celebrated their fine 1990 season tonight with their annual football banquet, and in case you forgot, the Rebels came out co-champs in District 4-5A this past season, made it to the second round of the playoffs. Named most valuable player tonight on offense was Derek Turner, the quarterback. Defensive MVP was linebacker Mike Loftus. Quite a year for the Lee Rebels.
They do many things to help us. I was real proud of the way we did. I thought the Midland Lee Rebels, the kids went out there and did well. We got beat by Odessa High and tied for the district championship. But overall, I thought our kids really did perform real well.
Well, that's not all the football news for tonight. After all, there is a pretty big game coming up Sunday. When we return, we'll hear a Super Bowl prediction from a Cowboy legend, Tom Landry. More Channel 7 Sports in just a moment.
Lincoln Town Car, a great American luxury sedan made even better for 91 with a more powerful V8 engine. Plus, it's the smoothest riding, quietest car you can own. And now it's backed by a 4-year, 50,000-mile bumper-to-bumper limited warranty that requires no deductible. Lincoln Town Car for 1991. What a luxury car should be.
See your West Texas Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
The old saying, bigger is not always better, is not always true. Our newly expanded facilities at the Hollander Chiropractic Clinic allow our team of highly skilled specialists to treat you quickly and effectively, yet with a personal touch. From initial analysis to chiropractic adjustments and informative back care courses, Hollander Chiropractic is one of the Permian Basin's largest natural health care facilities. Call us today and start down the road to better health, the chiropractic way.
Well, Tom Landry not only has his obvious cowboy roots, but remember, the longtime coach was a former player with the New York Giants. But that doesn't mean he thinks they'll win Sunday. Landry is going for the Bills.
It's Buffalo's year, and I think Buffalo will win. It'll be tough. Now, they're not going to let them have it easy, but I still believe if they haven't, if the emotion hasn't been too great on Buffalo this week, because that's the most important thing in football is when you go to the championship game, the Super Bowl, you got to stay at an even keel. You can't get real high because emotion leaves you if you get too high, and the next game you play, you're not going to be as emotional, and therefore your chances of winning are not as good. But I still feel that Buffalo's going to win the ball game.
Well, there's a man that should know what he's talking about. Meanwhile, Rocket Ishmael won't be in the Super Bowl this year, but he could be there next year. The Rocket has decided to pass up his final year of eligibility at Notre Dame to enter the NFL draft. Rocket says he wants to do something special for his mother and family, adding he changed his mind about entering the draft after the death of teammate Chris Zorich's mother. Rocket says it was not a decision that he made overnight.
ABC Rental Odessa, where one call does it all. Mr. Contractor, you can rent. High reach man lifts, scissor lifts, how to operate. It's as easy as ABC. Rent scaffolding, air compressors, ditching equipment, how to operate. It's as easy as ABC. Now that's 332-1211, where one call does it all.
Come on in. Enjoy the food at Fuddruckers. 1/2 and 1/3 pound hamburgers direct from Fuddruckers' own butcher shop. And they're cooked to your order. Then placed on Fuddruckers' own bakery fresh bun. Just pile on the garden fresh lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, and onions. It's the world's greatest hamburger because you build it the way you like it. Come on in and enjoy the fun. Bring the entire family to Fuddruckers.
Fuddruckers, Midland Park Mall, Midland.
Taking a final look at the night's top story, the Allied forces are claiming another big win tonight after a Saudi flight pilot shot down 2 Iraqi bomber jets. And that wraps up our 10 o'clock show. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, and we'll see you again tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Have a good night.
Good night.
Nobody beats a J.B. Elmore deal. You think I'm just making that up? I want you to look at this. It's 1990 Mercury Topaz GS, 4-cylinder, automatic, tilt, cruise, cassette, power windows, air conditioned, mind you, and the price is just $79.88. $79.88. Open till the last customer is served.
Elmore in Big Spring.